Today's Google Maps adventure brings me to an area that I've never been to before. I'm just on the inside of the Pennsylvania side of the Pennsylvania-New Jersey border. And what I found is an object located near a body of water. It's a square object, looks large enough to be like a small building or structure, but I have no idea what it is, even if it's still there. But what I do know is I need to travel on foot to reach it. But also, I highly encourage you to watch this entire video because on my way to this location, I did spot something worth filming as well, something that you may not want to miss. But that'll be coming up later on after we do check out this item here, which is going to be a bit of a trek down this direction. So if you're curious as to what I may or may not find, well, all you need to do is come along with me. Now, prior to coming here, I did do just a little bit of research using Google Earth. On there, they have the timeline feature where you could go back several years to see what the area used to look like. I was able to find this item on the maps going back to 1992. That's when it's first showing up. The thing I'm noticing on that image is that the area was much more cleared out, maintained, and more accessible. Well, as we scan forward through the years to more present time, present day, the area is getting reclaimed by nature, not as maintained or cleared out, which leads me to believe that this item is still there because it's almost hidden by the tree growth in present time. So it looks like no one's been going there, maintaining it. So there is good inclination that this item is still there. And I'm also traversing slightly uphill. We are going up an incline here, but thankfully we have a gorgeous day here. It's in the upper 60s here in the end of August. Low humidity and a slight breeze. But so far, just gonna follow this trail out and hopefully it will lead us directly to this location. One thing I'm noticing, which may or may not be coming through on camera, is there is actually power lines heading in the direction that we're going. There is two thin lines. Could be something else other than power, but just a coincidence they are going in the direction we're going. So that's a strong belief that there is a structure back here and at one time may have had electricity. Just confirming on Google Maps that we are heading in the right direction, and we just need to keep going straight in the direction we're heading. This trail that we're on should take us pretty much directly to it. Now, I also want to say too that if you are new here for the first time, I want to welcome you to my channel. And if you do enjoy these Google Maps adventures, that there will be a playlist down below featuring all my past Google Maps adventures, including some upcoming ones later on for the fall and winter of 2024. You're not going to want to miss those. This is also a beautiful section of forest. Nice and green and lush. Pretty full, but not too thick. You can still see at least 100 yards through the trees. Just checking my progress and we're really close. I'd say we're less than a couple hundred yards away in that direction. But this trail though, although it's a nice pristine trail, it's nothing short of a roller coaster. Literally, it's like this the whole way, up and down, up and down. Every time I go up, lose my breath a little bit, start going downhill, get my breath back. Next thing you know, it's another hill. So definitely putting in a little bit of work today, but it feels good to be doing this. And knowing that we are closing in, heading in the right direction. I'm almost led to believe that this was an old road at one time that was accessible either by small vehicles or equipment or even off-road vehicles. Now it's more or less a hiking trail, but I am curious what could be out here and why these power wires are headed there as well. As we always say, there's only one way to find out. Down another hill and starting to get a little bit warm. Had to pull the sleeves up. All right, so made some progress, and I do have an update for you. We came to a clearing, and the power lines are still coming this direction. And they're coming down to a little tiny structure hidden behind the trees and leaves. I don't know if this is indeed the structure or not, but I did notice it just following the wires. I'm going to confirm my location on Google Maps. This may or may not be what we're looking for. See the panel box there, and the meter has been removed. I don't know. This may or may not be it. Do have a piece of aluminum here, and I do remember it was a white color on Google Earth, Google Maps. Let me double check my location. I'm kind of hoping this is not it, but I have a feeling that it is. Okay, so my dot is still moving. It's adjusting. Let me get closer to this here. So it does show I am, yep, we're on the target. This is 100% it. I'm going to take a screenshot just to show that. So I guess depending on how you want to look at it, it's good news, not so good news. Good news, it's still here. Not so good news is that it's not really all that impressive. I was on the right track though, saying it appears to be a small structure. We do have that here. Now, according to Google, yeah, I could see it. There is a body of water down here. From what I just glanced on the inside, I think this had something to do with the water. So we'll double check that and see what we find. Well, let's head inside and see what we could find out. First things first, this is made out of cinder blocks. Was built to last. I do see some... Holy shit, I am not going inside. There is a huge snake going in right now as we speak. And there's one on the ledge right there. That is a big hell to the no. This place is infested with snakes. Boy, am I glad I saw that now. If I got in there, geez. Okay, so we may not be going inside. There's at least 2 snakes here, if not more. And I gotta watch where I'm stepping now. Where the hell did that thing go? Okay, so maybe he's not in here. Maybe there's a block. I'm not gonna spend much time here though. That kind of has me freaked out. I do not like snakes of any kind, even if they are harmless. Jeez, I'm paranoid now. This is like a snake den. So, standing in the doorway here, we do have a filter system. You can see that there are some piping and attachments there for where filters would have sat inside of. As we come over here, there is a type of machinery. I want to call it maybe a pump. It says Myers self-oiling working head, 12-inch stroke, patented. And I honestly don't know what that is for. I do see electric motor there with the pulleys on it. And we do have, I'm waiting for a snake to friggin' drop out of the ceiling here, like Indiana Jones. We do have an electrical system here with actual fuses, the screw-in fuses, so that kind of dates it. And then we do have, so I'm like so paranoid. Manufactured for Gould's Pumps, Spring Valley Associates. So something with a water pump system. Do have a more updated electrical box here with a breaker. And there is a more modern 3-prong valve. Looks like something would have been mounted right here. Almost looks like a tire balancing machine. I don't see the date it's patented though. It just says 12-inch stroke. Obviously, if you guys have any information on what you're looking at, feel free to share it in the comments. All we do know is that is related to a water pump system. As to what was going on in here, like why this is built here, not a clue. It looks like water may have been getting drawn into here, filtered, and then going through the pump, or it could have been vice versa, where it's being pumped through the filter system out. But since there's a water source nearby, I think it is drawing water in. You can actually see an old gauge right there too. I think it's time to get out of here. I am so freaked out right now. So I want to make sure there's no snakes like hanging overhead and broke out into a sled here. That's one thing I didn't take into consideration. I'm going to try to give you a circumference look at this place. Keep our distance from our slithery friends up there. Look at them. There is at least 2, maybe 3. I didn't hear any rattling, which is good, but it doesn't mean that I want to get close to them. I'm guessing they probably climbed up the tree here to get up there. Gives me the chills. So on the ground, there's a pipe here that just ends here abruptly. There is some plastic conduit there coming around the back side of it. Watch, there's no snakes in the tree. They're going to drop down on me. So there's a window. It does have wooden roof supports with corrugated metal for the roof. So when we looked at the old Google Earth images on the timeline, this whole area here was cleared out. This growth was in here. It was pretty much a manicured site, maintained, and was used most likely at that time. And for one reason or another, at a certain time point, they stopped using this for its intended purpose, and they stopped basically maintaining the site, and nature has reclaimed it. You can tell these trees are not that old, only anywhere between maybe 5 to 15, 20 years old at most. Some of these little thicker ones here. But as I imagined, this is being swallowed up and almost hidden by the tree growth. And that is exactly what we have here. I'm going to give you guys just a relatively close-up shot here, if I could. That one on the right, looks like he's paranoid just as much as me. He's moving every time I move. The one on the left, his eyes are clouded over. I think that means he might be getting ready to shed its skin. They're just doing their thing. I'm going to let them be. I'm not going to pester them. I'm not going to do anything except be very respectful. And the one on the right, slithering his tongue, trying to get a sense of me here. That was that was a freaky encounter, I will tell you that. Tell you what, if you're just walking by not paying attention, you wouldn't even know it's there this time of year. It is almost completely hidden. But we're going to say so long to it now, and we're going to make our way down the path. Hopefully this will take us to the body of water, and we'll have a better idea as to what was taking place here. I'm going to keep you guys rolling as we make our way back here and see what we can discover. And I'll give you an approximate distance of where this is in relation to that building. Big old log here. Keep your eyes out for more snakes, guys. I don't want to run into them. Looks like we have a pond. Wonder if this is natural or man-made. Can't get too close. There is water underneath the debris here. And it appears, oh, there's those little jumping frogs I found, I think it was last year or 2 years ago on my one Google hunt. And people were really finding it pretty humorous how much I was getting scared of those little chirping frogs. Looks like something was mounted here. I do have 2 pipes coming out with a plate on top with some hardware. Another one right there. Looks like maybe a pipe or something could have been mounted on top. Now, in relation to the building is up to our right, up this little embankment here, maybe 100 to 200 feet. It's not that far at all. But I don't know what was going on here. I can't rule out if this was man-made at one time, but definitely man was here. Not only for the building, but for these pieces of metal coming out of the water. There's even something right here in front of me here. Oh, here's another support here as well. I'm thinking there may have been a pipe system. Whether it was pulling from this pond or putting into it. If it's going up and around towards the building, obviously gravity would be bringing it down. But if they're pulling from here, that may be what the pump is for. So that may make more sense to some of you. I'm trying to piece it together myself. I truly don't know. I don't see a reason why they would be putting water into this, unless there's something around here that was using it. They may have been pulling water out, filtering it for any number of reasons. Just discovered something else as well, snooping around the area. Came from behind the pond, behind the supports for what I believe is a pipe. And I found this. Looks like a spout. It's really thick here as well. So something was connected here, and more so, there is a manhole cover right here. Sounds like it's hollow underneath. And there's some electrical, okay, there's an electrical post right there. So more evidence that something was taking place here. And these wires, I don't know if they're still attached to anything or not, but something's underground. Probably connecting to the pipe system. And even further back, more evidence. Let's say water, SAMES, S-A-M-E-S. And a valve right there. There's an underground system here of pipes. So that may have been, excuse me, a turn on, off and on valve for water flow. And this is getting farther away. The pond is through there. And this valve system right here is only maybe 20 feet from that electrical panel box that we just saw and that spout coming out of the ground. But I'm going to walk around just a little bit here, see if I could find anything else, grab a few pictures. It is a nice tranquil area, I will say that. And obviously won't be going in the water. I can't even see the bottom, even right here where it's shallow. It's pretty dark and murky, so we won't be even trying to get underwater footage. But I'm going to walk around, and if we discover something else, we will check it out. And don't forget, we still have that bonus location that I found on the way to this location that I mentioned earlier in the video. We still have yet to check that out. That's still coming up, so you're not going to want to miss that. There is a fine line here between wet and dry. Wet right here, dry right here. And it's hard to tell because of the overgrowth. And there's a lot of little jumping frogs. There's even a little island here I'm just discovering too, which I could possibly get out to. That may actually be a good idea. It'll give me more visuals. Let's see if I could do this without getting wet. Okay, so we are essentially on an island right now. where there's dozens of little frogs chirping and jumping. Hopefully this is not a snake island. Lily pads right here. Looks like it is relatively healthy water in the sense that there is growth here. There's frogs, lily pads, most likely fish, snakes. Looks like it does go at least several feet deep too, although it's really dark, like I said. I can see some of the lily pad vines or roots going down into the water. I do see a rock formation over here on the left, almost like bedrock or shale. I think we're gonna explore that before we do call this location wraps. So here's the bedrock rock formation I did spot from the island. And that's pretty much all it is. It's just a rock slope. Nothing growing on it, obviously. So it did stand out from the rest of the area. But at least gives us another view of the pond here as I slowly pan across and just show you what it's like from over here. And I just spotted too, right there is the telephone pole, power line pole. That means the building's right there, so it's not that far at all. Well, now that we completed this location, let's head to our bonus location. After a brief shower, blue skies once again, and those of you still watching, thank you for doing so, because I'm going to reward you right now with this bonus location. It appears we have an abandoned home. And from here, everything is boarded up, sealed up. But I believe around back, I did spot access to get on the inside of it. I figured since it's in the location of where we were today, why not include it and check it out? It does have a very large covered front porch. And looks like this is the basement right here. Doesn't look terribly old. It does have a concrete cinder block foundation. And the upstairs looks like it is aluminum siding with the wooden porch. And on the side of it is a nice sized brick chimney. Upstairs windows are busted. I guess it would be considered a two-story home. And this is the back side of it here. Most likely where the driveway would have been. Motion detection light right there. Windows completely gone. The roof is actually really good condition. Looks like a newer roof. Which is kind of puzzling because why would they put a newer roof on a home that is abandoned or soon to become abandoned? We may not know the answer to that question, but this roof looks like it's put on in the last 5 years or so. It's a really good conditioned roof. So inside should be good condition as well if no water is getting inside. And this is our, what I like to call open door policy. The door is open, it's not posted, it's not gated, not fenced. And right off the bat, it doesn't smell great in here, but not terrible. But we do have these runners going up the steps, the center staircase here. This actually looks like it went under a recent remodel. This is in really decent condition. Looks like new walls, new paint. Light fixture's gone. The baseboard heating is gone. But this looks like it was remodeled. Smells a combination of old, like old grandmother's attic, and musty, mildewy. But this is a really good conditioned home. I'm not sure why it would be abandoned like this. Blue tiled walls around the tub, shower tub combination. Not a clawfoot tub or anything like that, just a insert. Looks like they're doing some patching with the spackle in there. Yeah, there's like some nice features here. New vanity, It's like possibly a new sink as well. Toilet has not been used, which is good, but it has had water in it. Completely dry though. But they did leave some toilet paper, just in case. The floor is tile. I don't know if that is, what type of tile that is. It looks like maybe linoleum, the faux tile. Oh, maybe somebody was squatting in here. These don't look like bedrooms down here, but someone has definitely been, just heard something creak. Someone's definitely been in here. Random place for a television, old Philco. So there's the front doors to the front porch, but that's boarded up obviously. This had heating all the way around and it's all removed. They probably stole the copper. Kitchen's not big, but it's nice. It's dated, but nice. Got some nice trim accents on the lighting there, the housing of it. That's either Gatorade or somebody's bodily liquids, neither of which I want to investigate and touch. The old style chair right here too. It's like maybe like an 80s piece, if not earlier, maybe 70s. Gas stove. No graffiti, as I'm noticing too. It's like not really that bad condition. Fridge is pretty clean, comparatively speaking. Some mold, needs a good cleaning, but Honeywell thermostat. We do have a basement, which I think that's where the smell's coming from. We'll check that last. But there should be, where the hell is the upstairs at? Am I missing the upstairs? Oh, I walked right by the steps. Yeah, these stairwell, these step runners are pretty nice. So this is a combination of like a second floor slash walk-up attic. It's a pitched roof. Some crawl spaces here. The bedroom right here. These are the busted windows that we saw earlier. They had rolled down shades. Little storage cubbies. Could be for kids to play in as well. Looks like it did have central air and or heat, but it probably had, it had baseboard heating. That would have been central air. Looks like the central air unit is in there. So, house had heating and cooling, which is always a good thing. See the pitch up here, the roof. Bedroom number 2 with a more access to a crawl space up there in the attic. Closet space. Another cubby hole. Not broken window, but it does have storm windows. They are modern windows. Starting to see some mildew and a little bit of mold forming in here. Although the roof's not leaking, there is moisture in here. And we have bathroom number 2. So it's a 2-bathroom, 2 full bath house. Drain toilet, empty. No toilet paper. Kind of a unusual shower space because it's pitched. And the tub is full of mold down there. And again, looks like they did update at some point. It's just worse condition. There's old fluorescent lighting right there. A vent. And then we do have just a small sink. But I want to show you this shower space here because it is unusual for more than one reason. Hopefully it'll come through on camera, but ooh, this is crusty. So you can't stand back very far because you'll hit the wall. And this is the shower curtain rod. It's only this long. It's only maybe 2.5, 3 feet long. So not a whole lot of space. And the thing with this though is with the shower curtain being so short, not covering all the way back, water is going to come out the backside here because there's just not enough room to cover it. So this is a shower like I've never seen before, built into this little angle of the roof. It's different to say the least. Let's see if there's anything inside these crawl spaces. Well, it's storage and or play space for kids. And looking back down, I guess that's all that's left to do is check out the basement. Fluorescent fixture right there. Carpeted steps. Oh man, it is really moldy down here. It's going to keep it really brief. Well, it's actually partially finished, but it's like this was flooded or something. Oh, the mold is really bad. Fireplace, so we know where the chimney is for, down here. Basement fireplace. Big coffee table. Really small, and I say small, my shoe size compared to it, 13s, radiators. Electricity run down here, it's for the most part finished. Another crawl space with all the mold spores. Some furniture. China cabinet. And then we have second part of it. This is the sump pump. So this definitely gets flooded. And with the pump not running, moisture is staying in here. So 2.5 bath house. Washer dryer would have been right here. More modern furnace right there, which has been removed. Well, actually it's right there. And slop sink. Some more cabinet storage, panel box. That's mainly, I'm getting out here, the smell is really, really bad. It's full of mold down here. All right, back out to fresh air. That basement, whew, that was horrendous. That's where the smell is coming from. Let's walk around the rest of it, see if we missed anything else. Here's looking from the rear corner of the property. I have to say, it's not a bad house. Some money was definitely put into it, but why is it abandoned? That's the question. You can see the chimney there, that's where the furnace was. Fireplace is on the other side, but it's got 3 living floors of space. Basement, first floor, and second floor / attic. So 2.5 baths, at least 2 bedrooms. All the modern amenities you'd want. Central air, heating, washer dryer hookup, everything you would need. Plus a lot of updating, light fixtures, vanities, plumbing, roofing. Why is this abandoned? I'm kind of dumbfounded. I don't know if they ran out of money, if it went into foreclosure, something with the land that's deemed not safe or not good anymore. Obviously it takes in water. It is on an embankment here. And it's in a pretty nice scenic area. You can hear some traffic in the distance. It's not really remote. Only about a mile or 2 from any major roads. But this is a nice little single family home. Big front porch. I'm dumbfounded. If you guys have any thoughts or theories as to why you think this is abandoned, especially after some recent upgrades put into this, I'd love to hear your thoughts. This appears only to be abandoned a handful of years. There's minimal graffiti. The only piece I really see is on the back part by the door. Some of the windows are busted out. The rest are boarded up. So it's still a salvageable house. Basement has to be completely redone to get rid of the mold. Some of the walls upstairs have to be redone, but it's still a salvageable house. So it just, now it's only going to sit here and get worse with the elements. The roof is the only saving grace as to why it's holding up as well as it is. It's the basement that's really eating this house away from the inside out. Really odd, but a bonus find on the way to our location today. Just a few final thoughts I do want to share with you. So today's Google find was not a letdown by any means. It was there, we did find it. I could have done without the snakes, honestly. I was not expecting to see a snake slithering into the building, let alone two of them there. That made me paranoid. I broke out into a sweat. I was nervous, but I didn't bother them, they didn't bother me. I was able to get what I need to get as far as footage and photos. All we do know is that it was something for a pump house, pumping water, most likely from that pond area and sending it to wherever, but it did have a filter system and like a pretty primitive pump machine or pump itself. It didn't look like it's a really new machine, but looks like it hasn't been used in decades though, just sitting there, nature's reclaiming it. Also this bonus find on the way to that location. Why is it abandoned? It's just sitting here, no story about it, not posted, nothing saying we can't go in, we're not the first ones to be inside. And it's a decent looking home. More questions and answers like always. Don't forget to see more Google Finds adventures. Check the comments, check the description down below for a playlist. And in the comments section, feel free to share your thoughts on what you saw in today's video. Otherwise, thanks so much for coming along. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.